All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praise unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. The name of this lesson is going to be the Antichrist, this man of sin. All right, because there's a major misconception going around out there that the Antichrist and the man of sin is an individual who's actually going to raise up from somewhere and just rule the world. Now, I'd say that most of us, when we were in Christianity, probably believed in this doctrine. However, with further study of the scriptures, we clearly see it. This has already happened. The Antichrist, before I even get into the scriptures, the Antichrist is a world system. And as the scriptures say, anybody who doesn't believe in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, or who Christians call Jesus Christ, is an Antichrist. Now, the man of sin is talking about the so-called, or not so-called, talk about the Edomites. Okay, the Edomites are the man of sin. Okay, specifically, if we're gonna get into a main man of sin, well, the president or king of Babylon right now is Donald Trump. Donald Trump. So he would be considered to be the man of sin, even though the man of sin is not an actual man itself. For example, the scriptures speak about Babylon. It calls her a her. Now, is Babylon actually a female? No, it's an actual place, but it calls it a her. For example, Revelation 13:16, and who is he? He isn't talking about an actual man. That he is talking about just anybody who enforces the microchip, which could be a police officer, a so-called legislator, or any government official. Okay, it's not referring to an actual person. Okay. First scripture I'm going to get is the book of 1 John chapter 2 and verse 18. Little children, it is the last time, and as you have heard, that Antichrist shall come. Even now are there many Antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time. Then it says, they went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been with us, they would not doubt have continued with us. But that they have went out, that they might be made manifest that they are not of us. Yeah, it's speaking of those who might have, been in this truth. We got many examples of Akim out there who might have came up and, taught for certain years. But now if you get in contact with them, oh, what are you doing now, man? You still doing, you still believe in them scriptures? Some of them might have become atheists. Some might say, yeah, I still believe, but I just, I don't really teach. Which, that's fair enough, because not everybody is, called to that type of service. Okay, not everybody can really go out there, or on here, so to speak, and teach these scriptures. That's not for everybody. Okay, matter of fact, I want to go ahead and get a scripture real quick. Bear with me while I pull this up. Take me a second or two. Habakkuk chapter 2 and 2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision, make it plain upon tables, that he may run who reads it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Now the point of reading this is it says, make it plain upon tables, that he may run that reads it. Yeah, so what does it mean by run? Meaning that you remember, okay, that you can remember these things, okay? They're going to have many people out there, man. For example, let me say this. I myself, if I was to take into account the amount of people that have saw my works, right? And I'm not boasting, I'm simply just making a observation. I would say, because I've been on here for about 4 years teaching on YouTube, had 5 channels. I'll estimate, because I've always looked at the views and kept track of them. Again, not that it matters, but sometimes it's always good to keep track. Like, for example, the elders of GMS, I'd argue and say that I'd say that over the past what was it? I'd say over the past 20 years, there have been at least a couple million people who have passed them on the streets. And then Elder Apostle the Horror has, I believe, what, 2 million views on his YouTube page, if I'm not mistaken. None of that matters, all right? It doesn't matter how many views you get. The point is you do the work. However, I would say for myself that around 85K to 100K individuals have seen my work. All right, so, hey, the odds are those people will remember in that day, hey, when you go to the store, you see them offering that microchip for just a couple $100. Because it's not going to start off people say, oh, well, get this or you're going to die. No, that's foolishness. Obviously, they can't do that because there's over 100 million armed Americans. Okay, it's going to be something somebody willingly gets. Okay, the scriptures speak about in the book of Revelation that he had deceived them by the means of those miracles. Now, what are those miracles? Those miracles are talking about how one can bring somebody back from the dead by giving them an operation. For example, a miracle could be how I can pick up a cell phone and call somebody who's over in China. That's a miracle. Surgery. As I just mentioned, that was basically the first thing I mentioned. That you can have an what's the word I'm looking for? And bear with me if I stutter a little bit. The scriptures even say that Moses said, hey, I'm not a man of much words. I'm not a man of much words. But the Lord said, hey, I'm still going to use you. Okay? So, and you got brothers out there who, stutter, like that one brother out there, Loving Christian. That brother be started like Stuttering Bill from the It novel. Inside joke. But hey, that brother, he might truly be sincere. He might truly be sincere. All right, your brother might truly be sincere. All right. Let's see. I think I finished my point on that. Let's see. 1 John chapter 2, and let's start at verse 21. I have not written unto you because you know not the truth, but because you know it, and that no lie is of the truth. Who is a liar? But he that denieth Yahushua. Is the Christ? He is an Antichrist, that denieth the Father and the Son. Oh man, that was a cut there. It said the word Father and the Son. So all you Trinitarians out there, which I used to be one myself, before I came across the apostles of the Great Millstone, who proved in the scriptures that the Son and the Father are two separate entities. Okay? Now, if someone brings up that verse that says the Son and the Father are one, well, the Son and the Father are the same. They believe the same things. Okay? So they are one, as in they're not the same entity, but they are both. They come with the same doctrine. Okay? For example, GMS, they say, hey, we are all one. Okay? Oh, what about the back of the U.S. Currency? Let's see. I don't know if I got $1 with me here. Let me see. Nope, I got an empty wallet here. I open it up. I see 2 pennies in there and a bunch of cobwebs. So I'll put that back over here. But if you read on the U.S. currency, I believe, let me remember, isn't it pluribus unum, if I'm not mistaken? Hope I'm saying that right. But it basically means out of many one. Okay, it means out of many one. Okay. Or you might hear the saying that we are all one. Does that mean that we're literally all one massive being? No. It just means that we all come to agreeance in whatever subject it might be. Okay? It's very simple to understand. Okay? Very easy. In fact, I want to even read those 2 verses again. 1 John 2 and 21. I have not written unto you because you know not the truth, but because you know it, and that no lie is of the truth. Who is a liar, but he that denieth that Jesus is the Christ? He is an Antichrist, that denies the Father and the Son. Right, so it says anybody who denies is an Antichrist. So where is this one man coming up to rule the world? When you read Revelation, right, there's no mention of this one individual who's ruling the world. In fact, I would argue and say, you know what, let's even go ahead and get that scripture now. Anybody who believes in this one-man Antichrist doctrine, which, yeah, you believe what you want, but I just have one question that I'd really like an answer to, because this really don't make any sense. Okay, so apparently, right, the mark of the beast happens before the downfall of Babylon. So in order for there to be a mark of the beast, according to these people's belief, there has to be that man who rules the world. Now my question would be, if this Antichrist is in rulership right now, when I'm about to read this, my question would be, well, actually, let me go ahead and read it first, then we'll answer, or I should say, ask the question and hope for an answer. And anybody who dares to challenge what we're teaching, please comment down below and give your reasoning. All right, Revelation 17, and let's see, I might want to even start above. You know what? Let's start at verse 12. Revelation 17 and 12, and the 10 horns which thou saw upon the and the 10 horns which thou saw are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. And these have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast, that these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is the Lord of lords and the King of kings, and they that are with him are called faithful and chosen. And he says unto me, the waters which thou saw where the horse sits are peoples and nations and multitudes and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou saw, listen here, and the 10 horns which thou saw upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and they shall eat her flesh, and they shall burn her with fire. Now I'm raising this because, wait a second, I thought there's a man who rules the whole world. So if this man rules the whole world, and the beast are talking about an assembly of nations, well, wait a second. How are these nations going to come up against this other nation if there's one man who rules all the nations? How the hell does that make any goddamn sense? Okay? That's foolishness right there. That clearly disproves that there will be no one man who rules the world. Okay? Matter of fact, if you would go back, I believe it's in Jeremiah, I could be mistaken, or it might be Isaiah, and it even mentions the king of Babylon. Right? It mentions that the king of Babylon should be in pains and sorrows when these things come to pass. Now, wait a second. If there's a king of Babylon, but then there's kings of these other nations, where is this one world ruler, this Antichrist? He doesn't exist. There is no man who's going to rule the world. That's not. That's only in fairy tales, man. That's in children's cartoons, right? Somebody gets oh man, right? Just like you get 3 wishes. What do you want? Right? Money, power, world domination. That's usually the top 3. Of course, world domination is the first one, of course. But hey, man, that's just in children's cartoons. Now, I'm not going to deny that there is a group out there who people call the Illuminati, which the word Illuminati means the enlightened ones. Okay? I'm not going to deny there is a group who rules the world. There is a group that rules the world. There is not a man who rules the world. There are a group who rules the world, but not a man. Okay? And that goes back to the whole Trinity thing. Okay? So they are all together, as I quoted the United States currency, pluribus unum, which means out of many one. Okay? There are many, but they are as one, because they all believe the same thing. Okay, same thing with the Father and the Son. They are not the same person, but they are the same in doctrine. Okay, so the Son came in the likeness of the Father. Okay, this is easy peasy at this point. Let's see. Go ahead and go to the book of 1 John. Bear with me a second. 1 John 1 and verse okay, this is the book of 1 John chapter 1 and verse 6. For if we say that we have fellowship with him and walk in darkness, we lie and do not have the truth. For example, man, you might be out there, you know, like saying, oh, like, oh, what was it? What was his name? Um, there's a famous a dude out there is, now selling his own Bible. I think it's called Jesus or something like that. I believe the name is a book. Damn, I can't think of the man's name though that is out there doing it. I can't remember. But anyway, you know, like for example, Christianity is a friend of the world. There is no difference between Christianity and the world. They are one and the same. Okay, they are one and the same. Okay, for example, America claims to be a nation founded upon Christian. What's the word I'm looking for? Christian. Not likings. Morals. Morals would be a correct word to use. All right, they claim that America was founded off Christian values or morals, whatever word you like to use. Now this is not the case because, for one, when they came over to the United States of America, those so-called Native Americans that were over here, when Christopher Columbo, who they call Christopher Columbus, sailed over here, those were the Jews. Okay, those were the real lost tribes of the nation of Israel. Those were the tribes of if not mistaken, what is it, Gad and Reuben? Okay, the so-called Native Americans. Okay, and you can look that up on the 12 tribes chart to confirm that be true for yourself. Okay, but yeah, this place wasn't valued off Christian standards. Because if that was the case, well, how could you say that after you slaughter all those innocent people? Scriptures say, "Thou shalt not murder." So how could you see? It's an illogical fallacy. An illogical fallacy. When you bring it up, oh well, that was back then. Let's not talk about it. Okay, then. Well, no, I had to get this. I had to get this. Bear with me a second. I got to pull the scripture up. Let me see. Trying to remember how it's exactly worded so I can look it up. It's a very powerful verse. Uh, yep, found it. Okay. One of my personal favorites here. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 15. That which has been is now, and that which is to be have already been, and Yahweh regardeth that which is past. Or it says requireth, Salaki, my phone was cracked in the middle of the word. God requireth that which is past. We gotta read that again. I'm going to highlight that real quick. All right. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and 15. That which has been is now, and that which is to be have already been. And Yahweh requireth that which is past. So if the Lord requires that which is past, how can you get around that? There's no way to get around that, man. What about, what is that? Hebrews 13 and 8. For I, the Lord, was the same yesterday, today, and forever. Right, so the Lord never changed. All right, and that totally cuts you guys out there. You would say the law changed. Okay, the law never changed. Okay, but I'm going to start wrapping up this lesson here. Don't need to drag it on for too long. Let's see. First John 4 and 3. And every spirit that confess not that Yahweh Shai is come in the flesh is not of God, And this is that spirit of Antichrist, whereof ye have heard that it should come, and even now is it already in the world. So you see, there's a spirit of Antichrist. Okay, there's a spirit of Antichrist. Okay, it doesn't mean there's actually a person out there who is the only one Antichrist. That's not what it's talking about. Let's see. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worship. So, that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Now, what is that talking about? People say, that's talking about Pope Francis, right? Making fun of Rock upon him there. Which, hey, brother, I'm laughing with you. I'm not laughing at you. But you don't know them scriptures. You don't know them scriptures, my man. Okay? That's talking about Edom, which the main power seat of Edom today is America. Okay? America is the main power seat of this man. And it's just a fact that America reigns over the world. And not no city that's 2 square miles long. Damn fool, man. How stupid can you be? That just shows you, man, that these Christians, either they don't study or they don't know. It's that simple. Okay? But anyway, I hope that was an edifying lesson. I want to end off by giving all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.